flying out of Newark Liberty Airport to Barbados.
Yes, we are flying to
Barbados.
We're flying to Fort Lauderdale first, and then we connect in Fort Lauderdale to Barbados. And today we are flying with JetBlue. Holly, you want to tell them the bad news? 3 hours later. We are currently sitting outside of gate A17, which is actually where United 93 flew out of on September 11th. You can see the American flag there, noting that no other gate here has a flag on it like that. Do something that shows you're traveling. I don't know, pick up a bag. So it is currently 7:30. Our flight to Fort Lauderdale leaves at 8:30. We'll land there about 11 a.m. and then our flight to Barbados leaves at 2 from Fort Lauderdale. We'll get there at like 5:30. So it's kind of a long travel day, but it hasn't been too bad. On this JetBlue flight, we have the even more space seats on this flight to Fort Lauderdale, which came with the even more time, where you get like to go through a priority line. Great experience there. It was very quick. There was no line in the priority line, so it was just like go right through. Probably took 5 minutes to get through TSA. And then the even more space seats have more leg room, and so we're kind of looking forward to that. We didn't book it all the way to Barbados because it was expensive. It was like $50 a ticket. So pause. I failed to mention in this video that our flights were free. No, we didn't use miles, and we're not reviewing anything. In fact, you could have very well done the exact same thing. If you're curious on how we managed to score free flights to Barbados, comment below and let me know you'd like a video on it. All right, we are about to board this JetBlue flight. This is our second time flying JetBlue. We flew JetBlue last year to the Dominican Republic. It was a great time, great trip.
Yes, it was a good trip.
Apparently we only fly JetBlue to the Caribbean.
Yes.
In recent memory, we flew United to Aruba one time a few years ago. One thing we really liked about our JetBlue flights last year was the DirecTV and free Wi-Fi. JetBlue seats are not only some of the biggest in the United States airline game, but they also offer those great amenities.
You really unable to assist in case of an emergency?
Be excited.
Hey.
I don't feel the excitement. You are on your way to Barbados.
Guys, look at all this leg space in these even more speeds. Even more seats. This is crazy. I just cannot get over how much space there is. Look at all this space. This is insane. Of course, you have an in-flight entertainment system.
We're passing through the cabin to make sure ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt fastens, your seat back tray table also. All can items are put away.
Well, our flight is well underway now, and I have to say I feel quite comfortable in this nice, cushy seat. You can see they're very thickly padded seats, and of course, so much leg room in this extra space seat. It's really incredible, actually. But I wanted to give you guys a tour of the seating area in case you've never flown JetBlue. That way, if you're looking at flying JetBlue, or maybe in the future you're going to fly JetBlue, you know what to expect. So as you can see, Holly is sitting in the seat, and you can notice how thick the padding is. It's like probably 3 or 4 inches thick, and the seats have a fairly decent width to them, so they're pretty comfortable overall. We are fortunate enough to have a gap between us. How amazing is that? Of course, you do have a tray table, which obviously lowers down. You have your in-flight entertainment system right here, and this has DirecTV and Sirius XM on it. And you change the channel for that with this right here, which is your remote. So you've got a map, and you've also got channels, obviously. So you just hit it, and there you go. Just watch what you want to watch. It's pretty nice. And your headphone jack goes in right there. Now, another great thing about JetBlue is that Wi-Fi is included. So as you can see here, I've got my YouTube channel loaded up. It doesn't play back like HD video. It'll do SD though, so that's something. And you can listen to music, no problem. We did already have our drink service. It was pretty standard. You got your Cokes, your coffees, your beer that you can buy. I got a water myself. There it is. They also came around with a carton of like goodies. They had Cheez-Its in there, and cookies, and some blue corn chips and some other stuff. And I went with Cheez-Its, although I'm not feeling very hungry. So, plus we're experiencing a lot of turbulence right now, and I just really felt like eating at that. right, the captain just came over and said we are finally done with the turbulence. As you can see, Holly's freaking out. How bad was it?
It was probably, I'm having to really think about a time when I've had worse turbulence.
And what made it so bad?
There was a lot of sudden bumps, and at one point we kind of dove a little bit.
We are now at Chili's here at Fort Lauderdale Airport. Holly's having some margaritas. How are they, Holly?
Weak, but tolerable.
That is not what that flight was. That flight was fantastic, especially with the more space seats. It was a dream come true. Lots of space.
Yes, it was very comfy, it was very spacious, it was nice, except for the 5 minutes where I thought I was going to die. That part wasn't as fun. But they couldn't do anything about that. That wasn't their fault. And then the service could have been friendlier. It was just kind of like they were just there, kind of like, whatever.
I guess my high regard is more based on the actual seat and the space, which was fantastic. But she is right. The service was...
We're here in the beautiful state of Florida.
We haven't been to Florida in a long time.
We haven't. We need to come back this year because the flights are cheap.
There's a therapy dog in here, and Holly's excited.
Holly, you want to tell them the bad news?
The flight has been delayed by like 5 hours.
No, an hour and a half. Still long enough, yeah, it's still long enough to be annoying. So now we're just hanging out in our literally least favorite airport we've ever been to. We are not Fort Lauderdale Airport fans. I think it's because every time we come here, we literally get it's always a delay, yeah. When we were coming back from the Dominican Republic last year, it was like an 8-hour delay. And we left for Pittsburgh at like 11 p.m. Well, while we wait for our flight, I did want to say that our pre-flight customer service was excellent. So what happened was, and this is kind of ironic, when we booked this trip, we had a layover in Fort Lauderdale, this layover, but it was only 41 minutes between flying from Newark to Fort Lauderdale and then Fort Lauderdale to Barbados. Hold on. And so I was worried that our bags wouldn't make it there to Barbados because it's an international flight. So I reached out on Twitter to JetBlue and, hold on, there are literally 2 announcements going on. So anyway, so I looked at changing the flight on JetBlue's website, but it was $210. There was a $150 change fee, and then the flight difference was $30, you know, 2 of us, so it's $60 total, so it's $210. And I reached out to him on Twitter, and all I said was, could you guys waive the flight change fee because it's such a narrow layover window, and I would pay the flight difference if they were willing to do that. And so they just changed the whole thing, free of cost. So $210 wiped off, and we were switched to a flight that arrived earlier and allowed for a 2-hour window of layover. But ironically now, the flight to Barbados is leaving an hour and a half late, so we would have made it anyways. But at least I didn't spend my money on it. At least it was free.
Still delayed until 3:30.
It really sucks. Because we're going to get to Barbados now at 7 p.m.
We don't get to see anything. We're gonna get there and we're going to be tired, which means that this whole day isn't even like a vacation day. It's just like just get there and go to bed day.
3 hours later. Good news. We are boarding. As you can see, we've made it onto the plane right on time. Like an hour late. As you can see though, the leg space here isn't too bad. Not as good as our fancy seats though, right Holly?
No, not as good as the fancy seats.
It's really hot on this plane. 3 hours until we're in Barbados.
Put away your tray tables and bring your seats back forward.
We obviously have some ice next to us this time. Not a big deal at all. But it's an ASMR tour of the sea. How you doing? Doing good, how are you? So our transfer fee from the airport to the crane is only 55 bucks round trip, so that makes it $27.50 each way, and that's in US dollars. If you're looking at coming to Barbados, the conversion rate is 2 to 1, so 2 Barbadian dollars is 1 US dollar.
Well, if you like my service, you have to put me up on your YouTube.
Yeah.
What type of YouTube?
Travel channel. What's your name?
I'm the guy, I'm Ezra.
All right, a couple of hours have passed. We have checked into our room, and it's incredible.
Pretty amazing.
It's incredible.
Pretty amazing.
But we're not gonna show you in this video. That's gonna be a separate video, so be on the lookout for a crane room tour. Guys, this room, it's up there. Well, it is gonna wrap it up here in Barbados for this video. It has been a long travel day. It's about 8 p.m. now, and we started off at like 6 a.m. So we're looking at like 14 hours. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. We're so excited to be on this trip and to be here in Barbados. And oh man, it's gonna be great. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. I post new travel videos every Monday. And hey, be on the lookout for more Barbados videos in the coming weeks. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until next time.